Hello everyone, I am Galaxy Drifter, welcome back to this new video. In today's video we are gonna take a look at my garage once again. Why am I redoing this video? Because I gathered all the cars that I'm gonna use for my races and I want to show them all to you in one go, giving some opinions I have about those cars. And also I want to tell you about my races in a bit more detail. First of all, my races consist in a total of 20 races. I've already showed you 2 of them, skipping the second one, so I showed you the one and the third. I skipped the second one because just an oval race, nothing exciting there for a YouTube video in single player. But I'm gonna show you every other race. My races are split in 2 categories. There are the races and there are the sprints. Now, those races are based on rally, but I took my own spin to it. Because in GTA you can't really make realistic, totally realistic, 100% rally races. You have to balance it out for gameplay reasons and for limitation reasons. One of which is real rally races are miles, kilometers long, but Los Santos is a pretty small island. You could go from one end to the other in like 5 minutes. With a fast enough car, even less, and it's basically like 12 kilometers, 15 miles more or less, maybe even less than 15 miles. Maybe I'm just converting it wrong in my head. Look, I live in a kilometer country, not in a freedom units country, okay? So I said that my races are split into groups, the races and the sprints. What is the difference? There are 15 races and there are basically a circuit. You go round and round on the track, and then there are sprints that are more like point to point. Generally the races last 10 minutes. Why 10 minutes? Because I just liked it like so. You can change the number of laps and consequently the time it takes. My races usually go from 2 laps for the longest race I've made to even 7 laps for the shortest race I made, and all the races amount to 10 minutes with the number of laps that I've set. But if you want, you can go 3 laps for each race, I don't know, and so you can just have a more varied time. And then there are just the sprint races, point to point, that can last from 2 minutes to 5 minutes. They are shorter than a regular track because Los Santos is not really that big of a map. And yeah, that's basically it. The time for the sprint varies because the track length varies. Okay, and now let's take a look at the cars. I want to start with the Omnis. The Omnis is the first car that I ever showed in my race videos. Let me find my notes, because I took some notes, because I'm not a car guy, like, at all. You may think that I'm a car guy because I'm reviewing my races, my rally races and so on, but no, I actually don't know nothing about cars. You could put a banana in the engine bay and tell me that it was a twin charge turbo and I would believe you. Okay, I know for a fact that the Omnis is Audi Quattro, made for rally. I know this because the Omnis is my favorite car of this whole garage, and I just made some research about it. Now, in my race video, the Omnis, this one that I was using, was blue. I changed it to white because why not? I felt like white was better. I've changed the color of all of my cars at least 3 times basically. Those two are stock, this one is modified. Why do I have 3? Because basically it was free when I got it. I think it is still free, and I just want to collect the libraries. Why do I have 3 if the libraries are only 2? Man, I don't know. I just bought them, they were free, so what? A word about this car, I put it off-road tires because this is the fastest off-road car in the garage. When I play with my friends, if the track is an off-road, I use the Omnis. It's the safest bet you can make. The tires, some people say they don't matter, some people say that they do matter. I think they do matter to some extent. Off-road tires certainly, to me, feels better for handling in the off-road. Moving on, you have the Tropos. Is it the Tropos? See, it is the Tropos. Okay. I was getting nervous for a second. I thought I was misremembering one of my other favorite cars. So okay, here is my note. And the Tropos is based on the Lancia Stratos. I really like this car. I have 2 of them because I was also collecting the libraries. It has 2 libraries, so I got 2. Why did I have 3 Omnis if the libraries were just 2? I don't know, man. This is the car that I'll be using. I put it in the Stronzo library because not many people know what Stronzo really means, and I think it is really funny. So what about this car? It has off-road tires because I usually use this car mainly for off-road, even if sometimes I take it to tarmac as well. And I think it has a really good handling. Like, it doesn't flip, it doesn't spin, it handles the track very well, it stays basically glued to the ground. It's absolutely wonderful. Same thing about the Omnis, except it may spin around a bit if you take the corner wrong enough, but the Omnis as well does not roll over. So now let's get to the second floor. And this is my Porsche floor. Not every car in here is gonna be used for races, but okay, let's start with the Comet, the base Comet. I'm not really stoked about having this car in here. My friends asked me to add it for the races, so I did after they pressured me a bit. And it is here. It's an okay car. I put tuning wheels on it because I'm usually using this on tarmac, or at least when they ask me to use this car, I just race it on tarmac races. Why did I put tuning wheels and not how are they called? Track wheels? Yeah, I think they are called track wheels. Or racing wheels, okay, racing wheels. Why? Because to me, tuning wheels feel better on track than racing wheels. Why so? Because they handle the bumps better. Now those races that I've made are not like the Monza or whatever, Silverstone, like F1 sort of tracks. They are more urban, there are bumps on the road. And so the tuning wheels, to me, feel like they handle the bumps better than the racing wheels. Now here my prize jewel, I really love this car, the Comet Retro Custom. I used this car on my second video, on the third track, and if I want to go tarmac, I just bring the Comet Retro Custom. It's fast, it takes the road pretty well. It does not really like to steer that much. I think it has a little bit of an understeer, and it slips around a bit, not too much. It's all around a good match, I would say. And I also put tuning wheels on it because I'm taking it to the track. Oh, I forgot to tell that the Comet is based on a Porsche 911, and the Comet Retro Custom is also based on a mix of Porsche, like the 964 and the 993. And this is the best car I have for tarmac. There are faster cars that I have for tarmac, but I don't really like them. I added them because my friends asked me to. I don't really think they fit with the rally team. The next car is the Comet Safari. This is an actual rally car. The Comet Retro Custom, I think it is as well, not 100% sure, but I think it is. And I think the Comet Safari raced in the Dakar race. It is an off-roader, as you can see. It is pretty fast, it is pretty cool, but I don't like it all that much. In my opinion, it has a tendency to flip over because of the high suspension that cannot be lowered. But I'll be using this car sooner or later. And then we have the Comet SR. This one right here. Not really like this car as well. I put tuning wheels on this as well, because if I use this I'm gonna take it to tarmac races. To me it feels like more a circuit car rather than a rally car. Added this because my friends asked me to as well. Here I also have the Comet S2. I'm not gonna race this because this is not a sports car. I think it's considered a supercar. Let me check. Nope, it's a sportive. Wait, am I missing something? It is a sportive, then why am I not including it? For some reason I'm not including this. Weird, I'll look into that, maybe I'll add it. Even if I wouldn't add it. Like, I don't like this car in my rally races. And my friend didn't ask me to, so maybe it's because my friends didn't ask me to add it, so I didn't. Okay, let's go to the next floor. And here we have the Flash GT. The Flash GT is one of my favorite cars, as well with the Omnis and the Tropos. It handles really well on both tarmac and off-road. It's a good all-rounder, so you can take this for a spin on everything, basically, without too much of an issue. It is based on a Ford Fiesta and on a Ford Focus. I mean, it's a mix of both, and it is actually intended to be a rally car, as you can see from the wheels and the setup. I really love this car. It maybe goes a bit oversteer, then it snaps back with a bit of understeer, but it's good. I like it a lot. Then we have the Remus. I don't really like this car. This is another car that I added because my friends asked me to. I don't really like this car for how it handles, because for how it looks I really like it. But in my opinion it handles a bit poorly. It could be better, and it also could be faster. If you're going to race using this car on my races against other players, this is not a safe bet at all. I think you you are not gonna have a good time or a fast time. It is a bit hard to handle, not that much. You just have to use your brake a lot if you don't wanna spin out. Now here we have the LG RH8 and the LG Retro Custom. The LG RH8 I don't really like. I add this card as well because my friends asked me to. It is alright, don't get me wrong. I put tuning wheels on this because to me it doesn't really feel like a rally car. As you can see it that it doesn't really feel like a rally car. So if I just race it whenever I get asked to do a race with this car. Well, it handles well, it's not that fast, but okay, that's basically it. On the other hand, we have the LG Retro Custom. Oh, and the LG RH8 is based on a Nissan GT-R and a Toyota FT86, by the way. The unaged LG Retro Custom instead is based on a Nissan Skyline GT-R. That I really like the Nissan Skyline. I think it is a really good car. It is an actual rally car, as you can see. Maybe I didn't make a proper rally build, but still I think it is really enough for me. It has off-road tires because I like to take this on the off-road, even if it's not the fastest car around. It is not the better handling car. You have to be really careful when you take this on the track because it can spin around, can be a bit annoying, but not that much. There are way worse cars in this garage. Here we have the GB200. The GB200 is an actual rally car. It is based on a Ford RS200. I put off-road tires on it because I like to take this on the off-road as well as on tarmac. It is a really fast car, but I don't really like its handling. It spins out if you're not careful. It is just too heavy on the rear for my liking. It oversteers, then it spins out. It's just a bad time all around. I prefer not to use this car on tracks that have a lot of turns. And here we have the Benefactor. Don't really like this car. Like, it doesn't feel like rally, it feels like more track. And it's another car that I put in our races because my friends asked me to. My races are basically made for my friends mainly, and if they think they will have a better time, they will have more fun racing with some other cars instead of the usual strict rally cars, I just put it in for the sake of it. I mean, it's not like people are gonna complain about it. Oh, and before I forget, the Benefactor is based on a mix of Mercedes. Nothing more to say about that. Okay, we are done with the first floor. Let's get to the second floor now. Here we are on the second floor. This is my mini collection floor. I have basically all the mini models that are in the game, but I'm only going to use this here, the Easy Sport for races on my tracks. There I have also the Easy Rally, and you may ask me why I'm not gonna use the Easy Rally and just the Easy Sport. That's because the Easy Rally is considered to be an SUV, if I'm not mistaken. Instead, the Easy Sport is considered to be a sports car. And why is that? I have no idea. This makes really no sense. If you're not familiar with the Rockstar race editor, in order to make a race you have to choose a category of cars. one or more. I went just for one, which is the sports cars, because the most rally cars are in this category, on the sports car. So I thought it was better because it had more stuff. I could have added more categories, yes, but then it would have made just a bit of complication for multiplayer races. Why? Because if a player wants to race, I don't know, in the EC Rally, for example, then you have to change the category. And doing this, it gets it does not allow to use other categories of cars. You can use only one category at a time, and the other category of times of cars that would have been not available for that one race would basically take out the most of the cars that I like to use for my races. So I had to make a compromise. The EC Rally had to go. I'm really sad about this, but instead I'm using the EC Sport, which is supposed to be a circuit car, but I made it a rally configuration. I really like the EC Sport. It is quick, it is snappy, it has a bit of tendency to oversteer and then to hypercorrect and understeer. It's just, I don't know, I don't know the word for it, but let's say it like wobbles back and forth. Not back and forth, like left to right. A bit too much. But this is one of my favorite cars. Yes, it is quick. It is the best car for sharp turns that I think there is. Like of all of the cars that I'm gonna use, if that track has really sharp turns, EC Sport all the way. I think that bothers me about the EC Sport is that it is supposed to be a wide body, but the wheels have no spacers, so they are kind of like flush with the body, with the original non-wide body, and this is really bothersome. Okay, let's keep it going. Oh, and I forgot to tell, but the EC are basically on the Mini Cooper. And here we are in a floor that I really like because of these two cars right here. These are the Sentinel Classic and the Sentinel Classic wide body. For being basically the same exact car, for some reason Rockstar put it in game two times, one with the regular body kit and one with the wide body modification. They are considered two separate cars for some reason. And well, the stats are basically identical except for the wide body. It has a bit more traction, yeah, a lot more traction, and also is a bit faster for some reason for being the exact same car. The Sentinel Classic is based on a BMW E30 M3, and I think same thing for the Sentinel Classic wide body, exact same car. I'm going to race both cars at one point or another. I like them equally. They are really good, they are really cool. They are also a bit challenging to handle, like the handling is not really the best. They might spin around. You have to be really heavy on the brake if you want to keep control of those cars. You cannot just send them like other cars, maybe like the Omnis. And let's keep going, and here I have the Ballista Compact. I hate this car. It is slow, it is hard on turns, it's like a brick basically. I changed the color of this car I think like 6 times because I didn't like the color that this car has. Like I cannot find a good paint job for this. This is better than the other ones they had, but it's not that great. The Ballista Compact is based on the Honda CRX, and just a car, pretty bad, don't like it, I don't think I'm gonna use it, that's all. This is a bit of an issue of a car. This is the Jester Classic. It's not in my races. Why is it here then? Because I wanted to add it in the first place, but unfortunately there is a problem. What problem is this? That even if it is considered to be a sports car, in fact, if you get in, it's gonna tell you that is a sports car. In the Rockstar race editor, job editor, whatever you want to call it, it is not in the group sports car. It is in the group sports retro for some damn reason. So I cannot add it. And I mean, why is this car in the sports retro and not in the sports car category, when the Omnis and the Tropos are considered regular sports car and not sports retro, considering that they were basically most famous during the 80s for the Group B rally races? I mean, come on, makes no sense. And this car is based on a Toyota Supra, by the way. Let's keep going. I had two cars that I hate. I mean, they are fast cars, they're good cars, but I don't like having them in my races. Those are other two cars that I added because my friend asked me to. The Jester race car and the Massacro race car. Those cars are based on the Supra Mark IV for the Jester, so this one, and the Aston Martin Vanquish for the Massacro, right here. They are fast, they have good handling, they are more of a track car, and I don't really like having them in my races. My friends bothered me to add it, so I did, and then they took me racing these cars on the off-road. I hate them for this. They committed crimes against cars that should not go unpunished. Let's keep going. This is the final floor. Those are basically all the cars that I have left to show you. And here there is the Karin Kuruma. The Kuruma is the first car I ever bought in GT Online. Actually it was the armored one, but still a Kuruma. The Kuruma is based on a Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution X or 10, whatever you want to call it. It's a good car, but it's not the best car. It's not the fastest. Does not take the curves better than others. In fact, it's just a bit under, like standard, subpar, if you want to say it like that. And it has a tendency to flip over, so thumbs down for me. I like the car, and like how it handles. Let's keep going. Here it is the Karin Sultan. Don't like this car either. The Sultan is based on a mix of a Subaru Impreza and a Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 1. Doesn't really feel like a rally car, does not the fastest, it handles okay, just that, nothing more to say about it. But if we keep going, here we have two legends. Here are the Sultan Classic and the Sultan RS Classic. They are based on the Subaru Impreza, the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 5. I think both of them. Yes, both of them. At first glance they might seem the same car, but actually no, there are quite some differences. This is a 4-door, 5-door if you count the trunk, and this is a 3-door if you count the trunk, or 2-door. This was a natural rally car, like many other rally cars in my garage. I made the RS as close as possible to the actual thing, the real Mitsubishi. I don't remember exactly what car was that competed in rally, but I wanted to make it as close as possible, because the the livery basically is a really close match. I made them quite different, even if they are quite similar, because I didn't want to have like a clone going on. But let's keep going. Here we have the Futo and the Futo GTX. I don't really like those cars, how they handle. They are inspired, no, well, not really inspired, but they are famous for the Initial D manga and anime. They are supposed to be drift cars, but there were also rally builds, that's why they are here. They are based on the Toyota Corolla Levin and the Nissan Skyline, and the Toyota Sprinter Tureno for the GTX. Was it GTX? Yeah, GTX. I don't really like those cars, like not one bit. For a start, we have slanted wheels, which is a crime. It's not really noticeable because I didn't slant them all that much, just a tiny bit, so the suspension was a bit lower, so it would handle better the terrain, the track, whatever. But they feel like butter on a hot pan. They spin around, and not that fast, not that much handling. I don't think I will use these cars anytime soon. And here it is, the last one. This is the Calico GTF. It is a pretty fast car. It is a nice car. Handling quite okay. Maybe this should be used on tarmac more than off-road, but I put off-road wheels on it just in case I want to take it for off-roading. It is based on the Toyota Celica, and that's basically it. I have nothing more to say about this car. I haven't raced it all that much. And well, everyone, this is basically it for today's video. I showed you all of my garage, I reviewed all the cars that I have in here, and also I explained a little bit how my races are set up. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we will see each other on the next video that I'm going to make, which is going to be the 4th circuit. I hope you had a great time, and I wish you all a great rest of your day. It has been Galaxy Drifter, and goodbye.